All right, welcome back. So today we are working on my trailer. We're going to do an axle flip. Currently, if we look under here, it is spring over axle right now. And being spring over axle, it's a little bit tall. So if we measure it, from the ground up right now we're about 28 inches. I'm hoping to get about 4 to 6 inches. It kind of depends on how all the math works out on the axle drop. So that'll drop the whole trailer down, so when you're loading, when I load my tracker on there, it's not, the ramps aren't as steep and it just loads better. It also doesn't sit as high. So in order to do that, a list of things to do, we've got to cut the fenders off. We've got to remove the axle out of it, and then we've got new spring perches that we'll be welding on the axle, new U-bolts for the axle, and then put it all back together. So we're gonna get started on that. First we're gonna get the axle out from underneath it, get the tires off, and go from there. There's one. Question is, will it jack stand before it hits the ground? Ooh, it will. Alright, there's one. Alright, so we got the tires off of it, dropped it down, and I had a brainwave. I'm going to put my Hobbies underneath the hubs so that when I get my bolts loose on the axle, I can just roll the axle out and I don't have to worry about trying to wrestle it out of there. So I'm going to pick it back up, put those under it, and then roll it out. Should be pretty easy. All right, so axle's out, it's on the jack stands. We're gonna cut the old U-bolts out because I'm not even gonna put a socket on those things so you can see if they'll come off. And maybe I will. Might want to use those for tie downs or something. But either way, I'll cut them up. Anyway, axle's out from underneath the trailer. We're gonna take the U-bolts off, we're gonna take the springs off, take the whole thing apart, and then we are gonna get the axle prepped and ready to weld on new spring perches. So that's where we're at. We're going to make an attempt to unscrew these bolts. These U-bolts, they've probably been on there for 60 years. This is an old axle. What are the chances they'll come off? If they break, all the better. That's what happens. Miracles do happen. That is crazy. I'm not going to pick those up because they're hot. But those things just unbolted right out of there. That's a little weird. So I got the springs off of it. I got the axle all ground cleaned up here. And then I actually tacked that spring perch in place. But what I did in order to get it right, because you don't want it to, you can't just tack it anywhere because there's an arch in the axle, and when you load it, that arch plays a part in the loading. So what I did is I took a little level, I leveled the old spring perch, the one on the bottom, I leveled that, and then I leveled the top one, same line. They got it same line here, just eyeballed it close enough, and now we're just gonna tack this one on and then weld both of them out. So that's where we're at. It's looking good. I'm excited about it. We're one step closer to lowering the trailer. All right, so those are all tacked in. So I tacked the four corners, I did tack the middle as well. But now so what I did is I set a level on this one, a level on the one on that end. And both perches are perfectly level with each other, so now I can just weld them out, burn them in. So that's where I'm going. All right, one down. Over the other side. I don't think that's too bad. Yeah. Not a bad looking weld. Got a little. Okay, I'm gonna try to get some of this smoke to clear from welding. Throw some spray paint on this while it's hot so it'll dry. And then these springs go on there, something like that. So that'll be pretty cool. And then this one here goes on there like that. Bolts go down there like that. The old one had these extra plates in there. I don't know why. Might put them back in. No. No, no, put them back in. Because centers and holes are different. Wait. I'll wipe that all down with some brake cleaner. I'll get it all painted up. So it can match the rest of the rust on this thing. Yeah, we're gonna all bolt it up. I gotta figure out, I gotta pull one of these hubs off to figure out which way this axle is supposed to spin in case I ever decide to hook up my brakes, which I probably never will. Yeah, go from there. Then we gotta cut the fenders off and put it all back in. So yeah, it's a fun little job. I enjoy doing stuff like this. Where we're at. Okay, well that paint's drying, that paint's drying, that paint's drying. I am going to go over and start cutting fenders off the trailer because they're too low. paint's mostly dry, and put springs on. All right. So we are going spring under axle. That's where one of the springs goes. Kind of cool. May not tighten up all the way, but that's looking pretty good. All right, so we got the axle all put back together. We got the springs all bolted on it. They're not tightened down yet because I want to make sure the springs bolt into the trailer correctly. I got it on the dollies. We're gonna roll it back underneath there and see how it fits. I'm concerned that I'm not gonna have enough room. Let's go around this way. I'm concerned that I'm not gonna have any room from here. My garage doors are shutting. I can do that automatically. Anyway. So I'm concerned that I won't have enough room between this spring perch here and the frame. I don't know how much space I'm gonna have in there for springage. So I may have to make longer spring shackles, but we'll see. Let's see how it looks. I might have to raise the front of this up a little more. All right, it is significantly lower than it was before. So, I need to get these bolts in there to know exactly where it sits. I think I'm going to continue dropping the front. I'll drop the front all the way down, and I use the jack and drop the back down until I'm close. Just wiggle it in there. Front's all the way down it goes. Drop these jack stands a bunch. And then slowly let the trailer back down. Yeah, we're getting closer. One bolt in there. Let's see if we can work another bolt. See if we can work a bolt in over here. Alright, work a bolt in there. find my bolts for the front. The bolts are on the front. Maybe. Oh boy. A little painful. Okay, so I got the bolts started. They're not tightened up yet, but I wanted to look at it and see if I got enough space back here. I wanted to mock this up. It's a lot lower than it was. It's a lot lower than it was. I want to see how much space I got here between the frame. Look in here, I don't know if you can see it. Oh yeah, you can see it. So, between, figure out how to point at this thing. So right here, between the frame and this stop right here. I don't have a lot of space there. So I've got about an inch, maybe an inch and a quarter there. I think I want a little more space in there. So what I'll have to do is, this shackle here is gonna get just a little bit longer. And yeah, make that shackle a little bit longer. I got some steel over there, I'll make up some new ones. And yeah, then I'll weld my fenders back on where I want them. They'll be raised up. They'll be raised up here. And yeah, pretty sweet. So this axle, I bought this axle for 25 bucks off Facebook Marketplace. It actually doesn't use lug bolts or lug nuts. Uses lug studs. These actually screw in through the rim into the hub. It's kind of cool. So yeah, that's where we're at. Probably gonna button it up for tonight and then continue this probably tomorrow. So yeah, axle's in it. Kind of cool. So that's what we got. All right, it's another day and we are done. I didn't film it because it's kind of boring. I put the tires back on it, put all the bolts in tight. I welded the fenders on, zip zap done, weld those on. Let's see. Oh, fine, and then I put the front back on. Turns out everything is removable with a grinder or a sawzall. So, what is our height here? It is now just under 22 inches. Whereas before, it was about 28. Because that was our measurement from the beginning of the project. And I leveled it. So we're just under 22 at the front as well. So doing that axle flip dropped it. Doing that axle flip dropped the trailer about 6 inches. So it was worth it. I didn't end up making my shackles longer at the back because, well, I don't have the right size drill bit. That's okay. If I need to make longer shackles for back there, I will later. It's a very simple, simple matter of cutting some pieces and drilling some holes and unbolting it and bolt it back on. Yeah, trailer's ready to roll. So all put back together. You want to look at more of this trailer. I didn't do a video of the trailer build. I built it about 2 years ago, 3 years ago. 2 years? I think about 2 years ago I built the trailer. But I do have a whole bunch of pictures on my Instagram at Harold's Hobbies. You go check out some of my trailer build. So yeah, that's all we got. Thanks for watching.